Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so it seems like this week we're definitely ushering more of the new paradigm in, and we're going to be feeling more of the new energies that we're stepping into. Because we got the Barbeau basket going on, which is very exciting. The Barbeau basket is mostly involving the outer planets. So this is just a bigger cycle that we're recognizing, that we're evolving into. The outer planets take a long time to change us. We can feel them if you have a very strong aspect to the outer planets. But at the same time, it always is like a slow, like evolution to see where we're evolving into and how it's really affecting us. And it's always very exciting. So I'm going to do a reading for all the signs and let's get into it. And I am going to use the True Sky just because everyone else is using tropical. So you can go get a reading for, the tropical chart. But I like to use the real sky because I think this, tropical mainstream astrology, that is great for personal empowerment. And yeah, just being individually empowered and knowing how to be boosted up and to take action. But I think this is important too, because this more so connects you to the core of who you truly are and your higher self. And yeah, there's value to both systems right now because, the mainstream one empowers you personally. But this one, we're kind of recognizing the bigger collective change that still needs to happen, especially with Pluto and Capricorn still. We need to redo our structures. We don't need to build on top of the corrupt structures right now. Our power is really in building structures that will actually serve the people and evolving the money system and what stability looks like to us. So that can also benefit the people and not like really be a big fat lie that it is right now. And at the same time, it's very important to kind of be connected to, the core of who we truly are and our bigger soul essence to bring more of our dreams into this reality. So this system, very powerful to recognize where you can kind of align more so in a wider picture of things and with your higher self. And then use tropical to get personally empowered to, go after it. This is more so the feminine energy. Mainstream astrology is like the masculine energy. So be very you got to be strong in your feminine energy to take strong action in your masculine energy. So let's start out with Leo. So Leo, it looks like we're going through a major dissolving of what we do in our everyday lives. It is very important to be more so connected to our higher self and our imagination and kind of flowing with what is actually true to us versus the old way of doing things with, being at work and the routines and the structures that are already. We are moving into the new paradigm where it's very the more that we can get into the sovereign way that our energy can work, the more powerful that we can be. This is frustrating for me because I am a manifester. So, if you look into human design, I like the down days, it is not even good to try. That is my hardest thing, is letting myself rest until I get that clear signal, that clear motivation to move and to act on something. And it is never good to even push or try to act on something that's not for me or it's not time yet. And that's kind of the energy that we're in right now. We're waiting for it's, till it's time. But I have extra energy from doing nothing last week. But yeah, if you're a manifester, by the way, just wait for until it's go time. And you will know when it's go time because you get all of that motivation to do what you need to do and you get it done really fast and it is easy. And if you try to start before that, first of all, nobody likes, nobody likes your energy kind of, because there's that underlying rage of things, and it's just a little disruptive. Versus where our power is always moving from that inner calm and peace, to create more of that inner calm and peace and affect everybody that way. Bring everybody more into coherence versus chaos. But yeah, so if you don't know your energy type in human design, this might actually be very powerful for you to look at. If you're a projector, reflector, manifester, you need a little bit more rest time, and you need to just be able to honor that. And if you're the other types, lucky you. It is go time always, pretty much. And you just have a full tank of gas. And I'm very jealous of that, because it is like, yeah, I want to go, but I can't. So I feel like that's really helpful to find the new balance. And then also it's helpful so you can start listening to your intuition in a practical way. But listening to your intuition, listening to your body, listening to your higher self and your spirit guides with what to do, where to go, what to build next, because you could just be having a strong desire to go towards work that is super deeply fulfilling towards you. That brings you that deeper soul evolution, because that's what Pluto does. It brings that deep soul evolution. And sometimes we have to let go of things or do things in a different way to really find like our path and where we will be the most powerful. And yeah, with Uranus in the 10th house, it's time to kind of break out of the box with how you've shown up out in the world so far. And, I think we're all doing that collectively in general. There's a different way of being out in the world, and we don't need to fit in the boxes. And it's where we try to fit in the boxes where we can really keep ourselves very, very limited. I forget what it's called, but we're moving into just the multidimensionality of this world that we're actually in, instead of duality. And moving more so from the multidimensionality of who we actually truly are. And the more we can recognize our value with who we truly are, and you just do that by going inwards, you just ask yourself, like, what value do I really have to bring to the world? And go in depth, write it all down so you can be very clear with that. And that can help you know is actually what careers are for you, how you want to show up, what goals are for you, when it comes to your 10th house, which is how you show up out in the world, your long-term goals, dreams, and visions, and what you truly want in this life. And with Saturn and Neptune in the 8th, time for the billionaire money. No, it's time to be very, like know your dream, know your vision and goal and what you truly want, and then cut out anything. Like, you got to be strict with your energy. So cut out anything that is not like a part of that, or you have to be very picky with your energy. So, you're not wasting it like on gossiping or certain relationships or certain projects that might not be for you, because you're being called in like a soulfully fulfilling, expansive direction towards relationships and money. And 8th house is investments, money, who you're really deeply involved with in relationships. And what you decide with that will be very supportive to you. So be very picky with your relationships and your projects that you work on. And at the same time, listen to those deeper gut instincts that you get from the core of your being. This is sometimes where we can face some of our shadows, like jealousy, resentment, whatever. And we have to realize that is telling us something. If we're jealous, that means we have that on a certain timeline, and we've been stopping ourselves from going and getting it. So you got to realize it's like your power to go and get it. And have the life that you want, do what you really, truly love, know what is sacred to you. And that is what can kind of that's what can give you a lot of support to your bigger dreams and visions. And at the same time, a lot of like limiting beliefs and blocks could be massively releasing right now. When you embody that bigger vision and what that is for you, some of you might be going through a accelerated consciousness evolution. Like you're going up the vibrational scale in consciousness. I see a ton of dragonflies outside all of a sudden right now. So like you're getting very psychic. You could be getting to, just easily connecting to your higher self and realize like getting slower, calmer, stiller gives you more access to all of that, running with authenticity and really connecting to who you truly are, is the most powerful thing. And if you are going through an awakening, they can be violent, so just let the process happen, take it easy, take it slow, and let the higher consciousness of more of everything that you are download into your vessel. So the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Some of you might be going through an initiation, and sometimes this is like an awakening, or sometimes it's just a pivot into a different job, a different way of being, a different way of life. Realize that is giving you everything that you actually want. That is pushing you towards this bigger soul path and destiny and the rainbow of life that you actually always knew. Like there might be a part of your life where you've been in a black hole, like dealing with darkness and shadows. And then it's like, boom, like you get this insight, and it might be flashes of insight that you're getting in your own imagination. And if you can see it in your mind, that is a reality that you can line up with, but you have to choose it over and over and over again and know that that is a reality that you can create, and that everything exists right here, right now. It is just you choosing whatever timeline you want to experience, because vision came out. Yeah, there is a vision. And it's so funny. I couldn't sleep last night because, there was owls outside of my window. And God, I wish I wrote them down. But yeah, I was getting a lot of visions. I'll think of them when I like give myself time to think of them. But yeah, the vision is sacred. The vision is actually what's going to build this mountain for you. This is your legacy, and that's what you're going after. That's so crazy because Uranus in the 10th house, it's like electrifying you to a whole new vision of stability, security, success, living life that is enjoyable and beautiful and wondrous and easy. And it's like you got to trust the vision that you get and really follow it, like prioritize it, make a dream board or whatever. Start going in that direction. All you need to do is say, yes, that is for me. And not like, as long as you're making that internal decision, yes, that is for me, and going towards it, then it can actually be for you, and the universe will bring it to you and help you out. A lot of us just get stuck in saying like, oh no, I can't, blah, 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 whatever, all the excuses. And that's where we cut ourselves off, because it can actually be easy. It can actually be nice, but you have to decide that is for me. Take the first step, take the first action. That changes your mindset. That changes your whole way of being. And yeah, you'll start seeing it. So star being healing codes, important information, wounds are healed, recharging. Some of you, it might be good to just really like recharge, because it's kind of like you're downloading your bigger essence that wants to come in. And this essence is more so in alignment with the natural organic cycles of Earth and the cosmos. That's why I like using the true sky, because it is more so in a natural flow and cycle with Earth. And yeah, realize how healing it can be to just like relax and receive. It's like a lot, instead of pushing. Sometimes you just need to relax, receive, and you get You just got to trust the subtle knowing that you get. And then it's easy to go towards like this big vision that wants to come in. Like it doesn't have to be hard. It's never has to be hard. Ancestral realm, karmic release, healing lineage boundaries. So yeah, that's the thing with actually being able to get in touch with your psychic senses and your higher self and who you truly are. It's all about releasing. Like it's actually just, you remember by releasing all the programs and everything that's not you, the fear, the survival, all of that. But yeah, realize how much you're healing maybe your ancestral lineage right now by setting those boundaries. Boundaries from love. I have a chaotic family, so it's always a balance with that. It took me a long time to realize like what boundaries, like how to set those boundaries from love, unconditional love, but like they're not gonna like suck me dry of all my energy and of what I actually need to be doing here. But that's very important, setting those boundaries so everybody can evolve. Once they see you doing it, realize the purge that you might be dealing right now with like really resting and healing. You got to realize when you're feeling like shit and really feeling like you're purging something major, it is ancestral too. It's not just you and your stuff. It is ancestral stuff that you're purging. Akashic records, clear old stories, release past lives, freedom. Yep. You're getting in tune with the Akashic record, which, can do both. It can introduce the future timelines, and it can also get you more so in tune with your inner knowing of who you are and what's for you. And this is easy for you. This is really easy to do right now with all this psychic energy in your houses. But let's see, anything else? Yeah, I love how the cards came out like exact for what you kind of need right now. Release the mirror. So the mirror sometimes we can worry about other people and what they are showing to us all the time. But where your power always is going back inwards. Like, because the mirror is just like something that's within us already. So we can be like, why is this person showing up? Instead of projecting our stuff onto them, we just got to go inwards and be like, okay, where can I find more of my power in this situation? If you're dealing with something triggering, or if you are feeling like you want to project on them, like actually just turn it inward and be like, why do I care about that? Like, where can I actually give myself more self-love? Where can I tune into my greater purpose and mission? Because you're definitely being initiated to a bigger purpose and mission. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Leo. And if you would like a reading or to work with me, definitely check out my links down below. All right, Virgo. So yeah, it's time to dream big. It's time to have very big hopes, dreams, and visions for the future, and to really give yourself the faith and the belief that you can summon up from within to really go after that bigger hope and dream. Let me shut this door because that gardener. Your dreams could be very, very amplified right now with like your desires and what you want to go after. Because this opposition of Pluto, you really want to get back into your inner child and heal your inner child if you don't have a very strong connection to your inner child, because our inner child is the one that gives us that belief in that faith and lets us like take all that power and supercharge ourselves to go after our biggest wondrous dreams. And that's actually how you can be very powerful right now. Like really getting back into your inner child and recognizing what you came here to do, like how you wanted to play through life a little bit more. And if you need to reconnect, it is good to just like let yourself have fun. Play really does connect you more so or back to your inner child. And once you do that, you can heal your imagination and you can live more so in the present moment where all the power is. It's just living in the present moment and anchoring that big, wondrous story and dream that we want to like let ourselves go live. And that will help you tune out the noise of don't do that, be logical, stay small, blah, 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 all those things that can come into our minds to stop us from doing what we really want to do, and like, yeah, otherwise, I think this could be very frustrating if you keep stopping yourself from doing what you truly want to do, because there's going to be a big emotional and intuitive pull towards fulfilling yourself in that way. Dream big, go out of the box, really have less limits, because that big dream and desire that you truly want for your life is for you. And you just have to let yourself say yes to it, take the first step, and you can release a lot of the blocks and limitations that you might have put on yourself, or society might have put on you, or, wherever. But yeah, you can be very, very powerful with creating, whether you're creating children or creative projects or manifesting something or building a business. Whatever you feel the call to create can be very, very, very powerful. And you can easily go through an evolution with your belief systems, because at the end of the day, belief systems are all artificial constructs, because there's always that higher intelligence from that higher realm. And you get to decide what beliefs are actually supporting you. You can break through all the beliefs that were holding you back, so you can just get electrified by that big dream, vision, story, passion, so you can go after it. Because you also at the same time want to align with like-minded people. So if there's like challenging relationships in your life right now, which there definitely could be an evolution with relationships, people exiting out, because you're meant to align with, soul connections and just people that are at the same resonance, and they feel good and they amp you up. And yeah, they're going to majorly support you to go after your big dreams. And so definitely take a look at your friends and groups and networks and who you're meeting up with more often. So you can, release whoever's like not for you right now and align more so with those big dreamers, because definitely big dreamers can come in, or just those soul aligned connections that, come in for a time to really pump you up into like where you're going and who you're going to be. And yeah, anything else? Okay. So no, wait, postpone. Yeah. So definitely have boundaries in certain relationships. Just put up the boundaries with love, of course. And also wait until the right time. And it's okay to say no until you really receive that lightning strike, because I think there's going to be a time coming where you receive that lightning strike that puts you more so on your purpose, destiny, timeline. And it's about being open so you can actually receive that. Uranus is aligning you with your Dharma timeline. And it can come in shockingly, randomly, but it's going to make you feel very excited and make you feel very alive. And when you get aligned with that, everything else kind of gets a little bit easier in life, because you're doing what you came here to do, and you're doing your part, in the world. We all came here to fulfill a part, and that's really just to be us. At the end of the day, to be that most authentic version of yourself. And the more that you can do that and align with what you love and the people that you love and your dreams that you want to fulfill, and you can be very authentic and bold with going after that, then, everything can really, the universe can help you a lot more. It's kind of like entering this stream to flow onto, your bigger hopes and dreams and desires in a very expansive life that's very exciting. And yeah, you just got to choose it and wait for that bolt. What gives you that life force energy, like fully, to give you the motivation to go after something? And it's okay to say no to things until you fully get that. So the heart and the mother, it seems like you might be going through like healing with your feminine energy. Realize what you really want to nurture, what is precious, what is sacred, what is special. And sometimes that's actually why it's not always good to tell like all our friends about our biggest hopes and dreams, because all it takes is someone just going, oh, that's stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I've like, that always happens to me. I rarely like, that's because that's the thing. That's the initiation. You need to trust your vision, and you only need to listen to you. You give yourself the permission. And then like you just get that full on support from source, from the universe. You actually don't need it from anybody else. And you trust yourself more and more and more to go fulfill like, what you came here to do. And it feels so freeing to be able to do that. My cat just kamikazed over the fence. So get into your heart. What is your heart's vision? Because your heart is calling you towards a certain place, and it might be towards a certain relationship. So if you've been having challenges with certain relationships, it's because a very special one wants to come in, whether it is romantic or a friendship. Something, your heart is going to be fulfilled in a really big way, but it's going to take trust in your heart and listening to it more so than the logic. Heart source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, serenity. Go towards what brings you that inner peace in that serenity, and trust that. Venusian Galactic Council, Starbeam guides, answer the call, time to shine. Yeah, there's going to be a bigger way that you're able to step up out in the world and have that support from everybody and friends and your guides and everything. And yeah, just follow your heart. Go towards what feels love, go towards what gives you more love, and you're doing it all right. And some of you might be just creating something, because Venus energy is all about art, music, beauty, money. So making money while creating something that just kind of brings the vibe up in this joint. All right. Okay, thank you, Virgo. And if you would like to work with me, definitely check out my links down below. Okay, Libra. So there can be a bigger evolution that you're going through when it comes to home and who you are out in the world, which could be your career or just what you do out in the world. And maybe you want to do something that you're really passionate about, that you have a big vision for, and you can't care about what your family members think or whatever. And you're going to do you at the end of the day. This is a time to really just believe in like your vision that you really, really want for your life. Whether it is with your career or what you want to be known for, what you came here to do. Follow your heart, follow your intuition, really get aligned with that. You just have to take the first step, and then you can like be shown the rest of the way. You just have to say, yes, I want that. Universe, give me that, and go towards it. And the universe will kind of bring in the support so you can go in that direction. Some of you might be wanting to start a family, and this would be a very powerful time actually to meet a soulmate relationship that comes in randomly and suddenly, but they want to be a powerhouse with you. This kind of is like power couple like energy, having that strong foundation and household, and establishing a family and a structure in a home environment that really is supportive to you. Because Pluto and Capricorn, there might be a different way. Everyone's like homesteading right now and like finding like cheap land. That could definitely be a thing that some of you are going towards. And it is crazy once you start looking at that, actually, because I started looking at that, like how cheap land really is. Land can be very cheap. I've looked in Florida, I've looked in Hawaii on the Big Island. Hawaii on the Big Island, it's so cheap. Like I didn't think Hawaii would be that cheap because I lived on Maui once. But yeah, it's way cheaper on the Big Island. It's actually crazy how cheap it is. But yeah, what do you want home to look like? What do you want your everyday life to look like? What do you want to be doing for work? What do you want to be known for? It's time to really trust those big dreams. Because there can be kind of a dissolving going on with your work life, your daily life, your routines. The structure that has existed in the past isn't going to be able to exist like moving into these new energies. The 9 to 5 grind is going to be slowly like ending because people won't have the life force energy to do it. Because if they're not passionate about it, if they don't truly love it, then the life force, just the energy is like really not going to be there. So this is a powerful time if you want to look at your human design to see how you can move in your everyday life in a way that is really supportive to you, that is, very, very helpful. And if you're just in tune with your intuition and your own alignment and flow every day, then that's also going to be very, very powerful too. There can be, let's see, Uranus in the 8th house. Yeah, strong soul connections coming in very randomly that are very strong, very meant to be, like maybe meant to partner with for the long term. Like that's what that really looks like. I love Uranus trining Pluto. Like a strong, sudden soulmate connection comes in that you can build a home and family with, or start a community with, or whatever you want to do. But partnerships are very, very important. You can have very evolutionary partnerships at this time because the 8th house is just those like business partners, marriage partners, those strong, more in-depth relationships, not the surface relationships. But they will come in and they will be very evolutionary for you and for them. And then let's see. Yeah, structuring your everyday life so it's more so in flow with like what you really want to be doing. That's how you can get all the energy that you need. And that's how you can release old structures that you don't resonate with anymore. So you can align with structures that you feel really good with. And it's more so in flow with who you naturally are. So birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah, I think Libras are definitely, most of you are, yeah, some Libras might be kind of taking the leap or the head start with like starting homesteading and stuff like that, or, whatever the new earth looks like for you. I think you will have a lot of support. It can be very easy to get the money, the support, the financing, the relationships to start that if that is for you. But at the end of the day, what does home, family, foundation, work look like to you? Go towards that. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? So this is definitely healing your mother energy, your feminine energy. And it all does start with like self-care and self-love. I love using the true sky actually because it does get us more so in tune with the natural cycles, which are a little bit slower. They get us more so in tune with our inner self and our higher essence. And sometimes that is just moving slower, moving more deliberately. And then you can receive all the information that you need when you need it. And you just have more of that knowing with being able to move from that knowing. So stellar gateway activation, infinite potential, manifestation vortex. Yeah, this is like definitely a manifestation vortex because you're meant to dream big. You're meant to like look at what you really want for the long term. What do you want to be known for in this lifetime? Prioritize that. And then you will get the life force energy, you will get the money, you will get the relationships, you will get the support. and Lover came in. So yeah, some of you bringing in a really strong soul connection. So if you go through a random breakup during this time, which some of you could be going through, with a major evolution with home, family, foundation, that's because you're meant to like start this new chapter with a really strong relationship, and you're meant to like birth your new reality and what this new paradigm is going to look like for you. You're meant to start birthing it now. So recognize your infinite potential to create whatever you want. It's going to, come in like lightning. It's going to be a knowing. And how you know what's actually really for you, actually, is when you imagine it in the future, you imagine having it already. It actually makes you feel relaxed and relieved. Some of us like will like when we first start manifesting, we're like, oh, I want to be a billionaire. But like if you imagine that, is that really for you? Does that make you feel relaxed and relieved? If it does, good. Like for me, it would give me anxiety. So, but that's how you know what's really resonant, what manifestations are really resonant to the core of who you truly are, is if it makes you feel like at ease and open and relaxed. And it's almost like you're remembering it in an easier way. And then that's for you. So yeah, know that love wants to come in. And I love the Lover card because this is just a strong soulmate connections. I don't think there's many love cards in this deck. I think there's only 2. So that's really, really special. Strong, strong love wants to come in. All right. Thank you so much, Libra. Hi, Scorpio. So some of you might be, reconstructing your everyday life because you're getting aligned with your Dharma timeline. The 9th house is your Dharma timeline. It's what gives you meaning and purpose in life. It's what you truly believe in for yourself and for your life. And trusting that vision, being super optimistic and delusional with that vision, because you can easily be right now. And you can give yourself all the motivation that you need to go towards it. And to transform maybe the limiting mindsets that you have right now to let yourself go after that. You get to create your beliefs at the end of the day. And the more loving and supportive that they are for you, the more that you can easily go towards your dreams and manifest what you truly want. But don't be afraid to kind of go through a change in your everyday life with who you hang out with, what you do. You want to align with your vision first. You want to align with your higher self, your higher knowing, your consciousness. If you didn't see my post about like the clouds, which is the thoughts and the emotions, but you are the sky. You got to be the sky, choosing your vision, and then the thoughts, feelings, emotions, expectations, beliefs start lining up with that. And that's how you can make a powerful transformation with, being a powerhouse in your everyday life, having a powerful mindset, and really being very, very directive, or just very focused with what you truly want and what's for you in your everyday life. And there might be some blocks being released when it comes to connecting with your inner child and your creativity and your fun. And right now you can easily make fun work. Really receiving healing the inner child is very, very important. And it's very important with manifestation and creation because you get to live in the present moment. You get to connect more so with your soul, and that releases all the blocks from the ego that stop you, and keep you safe, keep you small. Instead, you can just kind of tell yourself that wonderful story, live in your joy, follow your excitement, and your excitement is always, taking you onto that higher timeline, and trusting that and knowing that, your heart and your vision is for your life and your dreams is meant to be fulfilled right now easily. So with Jupiter trining Neptune in the 5th, this is fun. Like it's time to have fun It's time to just like follow your heart, be Delulu, really trust in your dreams and desires. And all you have to do is take the first step, say, yes, that is for you. That is exactly what you want. And then, you know, the universe will support you. People will come in, ideas will come in, support, especially with Uranus in the seventh house. People randomly coming in that might awaken you, but they're also very, very supportive and they're evolutionary. They might awaken. Did I say awaken you? Yeah, definitely awakening relationships. This does look a little, you know, it could be a little twin flamey. Like if some of you are going through twin flame connection, that's definitely a real thing you can go through. And that's confusing because that starts a whole Kundalini awakening. If you don't go through a Kundalini awakening, then it's not a twin flame. A Kundalini awakening takes like a year to get through, but it never stops. But it's very dramatic in the first year. But some of you might definitely be going through that, you know, with this kind of energy. So yeah, let those, you know, and at the same time, certain relationships might be ejected out, but that's just to let in these like stronger connections that are literally at the same frequency that match up with you. And, you know, there could just be relationships that give you really strong ideas that are also supporting your dreams and beliefs. And there's just more flow, more synchronicity, more harmony with this. And they're also more creative. Some of you might be starting a family and a foundation, since Saturn is so close to Neptune right now, like really dreaming of what you want for a home, family, community, and a foundation, and prioritizing that. You know, thinking about the future and what it's going to look like in this new paradigm. Some people are homesteading. How do you want to live? What's going to bring you that security that you really want with that kind of vision that you have? And go towards it. You will definitely be supported. You will receive the support. But yeah, you just have to take the first step and go towards it. Trust your path. So some of you, your path might be, when we get aligned with our Dharma timeline, our path is always like not like anybody else's. And you have to trust that. You have to trust that own individual path that you're meant to go in. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Know that you will be supported, and you just have to like really trust that dream and that vision that you're receiving, because some of you might be receiving a really, really strong vision, and you know that it's for you when it just keeps on coming back, and you almost can't let it go. And also at the same time, it kind of makes you feel like relaxed. If you can imagine yourself being in that future timeline, and you feel relaxed and relieved and supported and loved, then that's actually for you. That's something that really resonates with the core of who you are. And you're meant to manifest that. You're meant to go after that big dream. You got to say, yes, you want that, go towards it. It will come towards you. People, places, things will help support you, you know, to go in that direction. So trust your path. Know that you will be supported. Dream bigger, if anything. And that actually boosts up your inner child, is when you just believe in those bigger, wondrous dreams. And at the same time, that lets you kind of get in touch with who you truly are at that core level again. Because we're dissolving the mask and we're embodying more of our higher essence and our truer selves. And that starts, yeah, from getting into the inner child too. You know, so like we can be cringe, we can be more authentically ourselves. And it's cringe at first, and then it's not, then it's just comfortable. And you just got to go with it. And that opens you up to the world. You know, it's like all those constraints of trying to be normal and appear safe and like, I am normal, I can be trusted. Like you just like let that go. And actually, like, you know, it's just like it brings other people into coherence and resonance, and it just feels freeing in general. So many reasons why you should get into your inner child. Because yeah, there's an empty room. I think there's a lot of power with like the new that wants to be created right now. And you just gotta like trust the new that wants to be created. And then some of you realize that like just being in tune with your imagination, that's very, very powerful. If you can see it in your mind, that's a reality that you can create. I almost want to read the empty room. And then Chamber of the Violet Flame. If you guys don't work with the Violet Flame, I like the one with Melanie Beckler. But and I feel like that's really powerful for Lyrans too, because it brings you into that like harmonizing energy. I did that. I worked with the Violet Flame for like a week straight. It was like a chaotic time in my life. Like it's very, very powerful, and it kind of gets you anchored more so into your inner knowing. So let me get the empty room. Let's see what wants to come out. Let me pause it so it's not super long. The vortex, the abyss, the nothing, the empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential, yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness, be with the impatience. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you are doing. If you can settle into the magic of the emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. So yeah, something new wants to be birthed. And sometimes we have to be a little bit patient for it to fully come in, for it to fully land. And I've noticed a big thing right now with we're releasing so much like patriarchal programming that's like in spirituality, in our way of life, everywhere, whatever. Like we forgot how to be, and that's actually where we can reclaim a lot of our power, especially our power with receiving. Instead of feeling like we need to do something, go after something, be something, try, push, do. Like recognize the power of just going inward and like all the way inward. And the more that you go inward, everything that is inward is outward. Like you can find everything within, and you can summon the feeling of what you want within, and you can recognize where you're not letting yourself be that energy of the thing that you want already. And that is actually where a lot of your power is. And that's where you can have a lot of deep realizations and release of a ton of blocks, and to get into this powerful feminine energy, which is the new energy that we are all going to be powerful in, moving into this new paradigm. And yeah, that'll get you a stronger anchoring into this vision also. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much. And if you would like to work with me, definitely check out my links down below. If you would like help raising your vibration and frequency, and basically an ascension toolbox that will help you get into this inner vision and this inner knowing, definitely check out my Shift program down below. Hi, Sagittarius. How's it going? Okay, so you could be going through a transformation when it comes to your money or what you value, and where you put your time and your energy, and does it truly align with what you value? Because you can realign in a very powerful way with abundance, and it all comes, and yeah, it all really happens though with you prioritizing what you value. And the eighth house, there's this deeper call for maybe certain desires that you want to go after. And it could be working with certain relationships. It could be being a little bit more decisive with where you prioritize your time and your energy. Because Jupiter, when it's going through the eighth house, you also usually go through a chakra clearing, and you don't really realize this, but yeah, you like you go through like the ascension symptoms, but they're very amplified, and it is like a quick clearing of the old energies that aren't you, because our chakras actually contain a lot of the survival programming and mindsets that are actually very limiting to us. And when we release that and we get back into the remembrance of the unconditional love that we truly are, and we kind of remember more of ourselves at that deeper core level, then it sets us free and it gets us into energetic alignment with what's for us, what's not for us. And you could be going through an evolution with releasing stuff that's just not for you anymore. And that's just because you're getting a massive energetic upgrade. And yeah, some of you might be going through a Kundalini awakening. It is obvious when you're going through a Kundalini awakening, because it literally takes, a long time to go through. It takes I just saw like dragonflies like swarm by. Whoa. Lots of, and I've been seeing swarms of dragonflies, but to me that always means, awakening of consciousness. So, and when we're going through an awakening of consciousness, it is a body thing that we're going through. We're literally taking on the higher energies like a lightning bolt. And for a Kundalini awakening, that's going to be going on for a year. And it can be intense. You can feel a little electrified, a little like you're on drugs. But you're like realize it's happening in your body. Your body is literally purging the old templates, because belief systems are in our body. And you have to just let the old programs and templates purge in the body and let the new ones upload. So just move with your body, move with your body. Whether you want to eat something different, whether you have different interests, whether you start valuing different things, let yourself kind of go through that purge and then that evolution, and move in different ways, explore different ways, explore different ways of thinking and being, and going after those true soul desires. And you could be feeling those intense emotions like jealousy, whatever. If you're jealous, that is something that you actually have on a certain timeline, and you just have to prioritize that timeline and know that is something that you can have. But yeah, the eighth house has those deeper like feelings that we don't want: sadness, anger, jealousy. Just check out the vibrational scale, what's low on there. You're purging what's low, you're alchemizing it, the shaman, so you can be a master alchemist. And so you can really truly harness your power and your OG frequency. So you can affect reality more, so you can manifest reality in a stronger way. The storm, sometimes it's a little chaotic with eighth house things, because you go through this like energetic like amplification with your OG signal and who you truly are. And that can release certain people, contracts, ways of being. It can cause a desire for you to want to move, or go to where your soul's truly calling you. So don't ignore that. That is like, your compass. Your desire wants to be fulfilled. Like, you're doing what you came here to do if you're prioritizing, what you truly want and what you truly want to create. And so the healer came out, shedding skin, shed the skins that aren't serving you, and, realize you can be a master alchemist right now, do that emotional alchemy. And then you're going to be very directed with what you do want, what's for you, what's not for you. And this can lead towards more abundance, more supportive relationships, strong soul contracts. And yeah, it's like that laser focused, like attention that takes you exactly where you need to be, where you want to go, what will lead towards, but don't you dare. She's been scratching that. Sometimes I gotta stop her. What will lead to a really strong foundation? Because you want to prioritize the dream with what you want for a home, family, and foundation. With Saturn Neptune here, it's time to really dream big with what is that dream foundation that you want, and what does this new paradigm look like for you? Because we're moving out of the old paradigm with whatever it looked like in the past. That's why homesteading and buying land is like so popular right now. And if you look into that, it's kind of crazy how cheap land can be. Like I've looked in, Florida, I've looked in the Big Island in Hawaii. It's cheap on the Big Island in Hawaii. It's super, super cheap. Like the people that I've told, they're like, oh my God, I'm going to do that. I might be causing a mass like migration to the Big Island in Hawaii. I love it though. I've lived on Maui. It's way more expensive there. But I love all the islands. So yeah, homesteading, just like start to look around. Like, what is that big dream in that vision that you have for your foundation? Sagittarius is, I feel like they're way more into the homesteading kind of thing. Anyway, so look around, buy the land. The land is cheap. Also in like Montana and wherever, land is cheap. And we don't want to be a part of the AI cities. So what does the new earth, the new paradigm look like for you? For you though, because that's what matters. Go after that. And yeah, this could be a time where you're just renovating or doing work in a different way. Stability and or just the way you worked in general. We're slowly evolving out of the 9 to 5. Because if people don't have that life force energy to do what they're and they're not passionate about it, they're not going to have the energy to keep on, doing it. So it is all about recognizing that and realize that there can be a new way of working smarter, not harder, to receive the same results and abundance. And that's what really wants to come in, easy abundance with this like trine to Pluto. And Uranus. And recognize, yeah, you can also find a lot of breakthroughs with eating healthy and taking care of your body. We're kind of going into, we're recognizing all the small things that actually we can do in our everyday life that can be very supportive. Sorry, my cats are like, I'm making sure they're not distracting. Okay. All the small things that we can do health-wise that are actually very, very supportive to us. And that we don't need to age like hell. We don't need to look like hell. And we don't need to rely on going to the doctor all of the time. Sometimes, yes. But if we just take care of ourselves without eating the shitty food and the shitty water and whatever, then actually we're good to go, and the body heals itself a lot of the time. Also, like sound healing, whatever healing is like very powerful. Light healing, very powerful. Anyway, that might be for some of you. And then yeah, okay, so inner earth, base chakra, strength, security, laying foundation. This is a very foundational transit. So you're just figuring out your everyday life, your routines, your work, your habits, your home, your foundation, and your inner foundation in your body. What strengthens the core of your being and who you truly are. And actually, that's how we find the real foundation, is by focusing on the inward first, finding that internal peace first. And then it's easy to start creating it externally. And we start lining up with the things that take us to that externally: people, places, things, everything. Soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Yeah, so strong soul contracts can come in that bring you that remembrance that is, on the next level, that higher dimensional remembrance, which those always feel like home. They feel comfortable. They feel, yeah, I mean, sometimes they're triggering because then they remember, they bring you back into remembrance of who you actually truly are. But yeah, this is like a higher level remembrance that's either just coming to you or it's coming to you through soul contracts. There could be people entering your life at this time that makes you like remember. And yeah, it's kind of like there's a familiarity with them in general. Leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. Realize, yeah, your big dreams, you're meant to take action towards your big dreams. And once you do, then you'll get the path, and then you'll get more signs and synchronicities, and it'll start to come towards you. But you just have to decide, yes, that big dream, that big desire is for me. You go, you take the first small step, and then it'll start coming towards you, and then you can leap. And, then it can be leading you towards like this exactly what you're supposed to be doing and what is going to actually be fulfilling and what's going to bring you a lot of safety, security, and stability. All right, Sagittarius, thank you for watching. And if you would like to work with me or a reading or whatever, check out my links down below. Hi, Capricorn. Okay, so this transit might definitely at first bring an evolution between you and your significant relationships. With Pluto opposite Jupiter in the seventh house, there can be, just an evolution for the better, obviously. You got to realize your power, your knowledge, what you want in life. How can you actually be more so in alignment with your soul, and what relationships are actually boosting you up? Because relationships right now can be very abundant and expansive and fun, and just so in alignment with you and where you currently are right now. And it's all about not being scared to kind of realign, let go and maybe realign with relationships that are for you right now, and recognizing which ones aren't, I guess. But yeah, abundant relationships can come in, whether it is romantic, if you want to take it to the next level in your current relationship. Strong friendships can come in, strong clients, business partners. You could be getting extra close with family members, certain family members right now. Growing a family with somebody very significant. That would all be very, very powerful right now. And also, I noticed a thing with a lot of people right now with Jupiter and Cancer. I think a lot of people are needing to listen to their body. So there could be a way that you have been pushing too hard and going too much, and thinking that you need to go because of expectations of others. But there is a need to move more so from alignment these days. So make sure that you're going inward and you're really listening to yourself and your body, and you're not like, because sometimes with Pluto, you can have a lens of fear, but if you kind of remove the fear and get back into the love, fear into love, fear into love, fear into love, that's what we're doing here with everything. Then, you can just move more so from alignment and who you truly are. And you recognize who's for you, who's not for you, what's not for you. And you can just be powerful. You're meant to be a powerful person either way right now. And you can be a powerful person if you are just in that deep, deep alignment with the core of who you are. I try not to say soul all the time, but that's why you gotta say. But that's what it is. With your soul, because Pluto aligns you with your soul. If you're not aligned with your soul, then you don't have as much life force energy with Pluto. Pluto just wants to strip back all the layers and all the programming and all the ancestral shit, so you become that powerful soul that you're meant to be here in this lifetime. Okay. And then with Saturn and Neptune aligning with community, that really, feels good, that is aligned, and you just you could almost be telepathic with certain people right now, very easily. Like, it's so funny. You know, I did a psychic test with my dad and my brother. They're not into this stuff at all. You know, but they're so on the same frequency that I had them do like this. I used my animal cards and they had to guess like what animal each other had. And they would just give one very vague word that had nothing to do with the animal. They would guess it every single time almost. It was crazy. So when you're on the same wavelength as certain people, you are just automatically kind of telepathic and psychic with them. And it's not even like they don't even have to say everything. And it's just like you guys just kind of get it anyway. Those are the right relationships that want to come in that are super aligned right now, you know, because with this trine to Jupiter, so strong soul connections that you just vibe, they're super familiar. You guys are very similar frequencies. So, and you possibly came here to do stuff together that, you know, can come in right now that can be very supportive, very aligned. And yeah, with Uranus in the fifth house, it's time to be eccentric. It's time to get back into your inner child and your play and your fun and your creativity and your self-expression and feel that. Let that liberate you instead of having too much of fear lens, this self-expression and fun and actually just embodying who you naturally are can be very freeing and very liberating. And when you follow play and excitement, that always takes you to more of the core of who you truly are. You know, your soul is always trying to say, like, this is what you should pay attention to. This is what you should pay attention to. And it always feels exciting and playful. And that is how you can really get in alignment with more of who you truly are. And, you know, at the same time, when you're following excitement, it's like a very pure frequency. So you can get rid of a lot of the programs a lot easier. So if you are wanting to express yourself in a certain way or create something, you can actually be really free by just doing the thing that sounds exciting and having fun, like playing and doing the thing that sounds exciting. You know, those voices will always try to come in and stop you from, you know, creating something, doing something, posting something on social media, being more of your authentic self. But you just got to do it. And that'll bust through all those belief templates and systems and lenses that are getting in the way from you truly being powerful and going after what you truly desire. It's a healthy or a good time right now to get back into your inner child. And if you need to heal your inner child, that's also another way. You can just follow your play, follow your fun. You become very magnetic and a really good manifester when you can get back into your inner child because you live in the present moment. You believe in whatever you want to create and you're just very excited about it. You're like, duh, obviously I can go do that. I am me. And like that would be such an empowering, fun, liberating thing for you to get back into right now. And then that can also give you this wondrous lens in life. Because Neptune wants you to, you know, have that optimistic lens in life. You could easily receive downloads for books or creating stuff or blogs or social media stuff, whatever you are creating, whatever you are doing in your everyday life. Creativity can just easily flow through you every single day with Neptune here. And whatever you want to learn, you can absorb it pretty easily. So if you want to take a class for like a language or just any class, like, you know, Neptune here is like osmosis learning almost to like, I heard Yashuani actually, she says she doesn't really even read books. There's just like she'll have a book on her. She's insanely psychic, like beyond the limits of normal psychic. She'll have a book on her bedstand by her bed and she'll know it already when she goes to read it. So it's like osmosis, like reading, learning, whatever. That's definitely a thing that can happen with you. So the mother wound, mother energy could be healing, feminine energy could be healing. See where you can mother yourself and nurture yourself more. Because when you do that, you find the pearl, within you that wants to be created, or that you need a treasure, or what's going to make you very, very magnetic. At the end of the day, getting our state and getting our energy right is one of the most powerful things that we can do, because that affects the energy of this reality, which this reality is way more energy than it is material. If you know about atoms, like 99.9999999% of them is energy, and 0.000001 is physical. Everything is literally way more energy that we can't see than it is physical. So realize the importance of working with the feminine energy, working with the energetics, but also deeply going within to find that pearl. Because everything that you might be searching for externally is already within you. And it is actually a shortcut to just go within and find it. And then you can, organize your field around you after you find that thing within you. And then the bridge. So friendships. Ooh, I love this. I'm considering this romantic. I don't usually see this card as a romantic card, but I think, yeah, this is strong soul connections that want to come in and help you out and work together. And yeah, it's one of you. This is what happens a lot with strong soul connections too, because I don't think just twin flames, but yeah, one is usually like just super strong in one area of life, and then another is super strong in one area of life. One could be very, very 5D, another one can be very, very 3D. And it's like, because you're supposed to help each other out. The other one has what the other one needs. And together, the forces combined are extra, extra powerful. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest call? So yeah, this could be a time where you're just feeling extra like aggro and just like, but you don't know why. And there's just this pent up energy. I have this transit in my natal chart. Like this I feel all the time. Sun conjunct Jupiter, opposite Pluto by 1 degree. So you might feel this intense, deep desire, and you don't know what to do with it. And you just kind of get agitated about like everything in life. And at the same time, like it's just this deep feeling that wants you to go explore, expand, evolve. And you don't really get settled until you find that thing. Like this is a time where you're prioritizing that deeper soul need. And until you find it, you might be a little aggro. So warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Because that is what's being called to right now. And your deepest calling that will give you that deep, deep soul fulfillment. And Akashic records, clearing old stories, release past lives, freedom. Yeah, you're setting yourself way more free, and you're doing it in a fun way by getting into your inner child, expressing yourself, having that wondrous lens, having strong relationships to come help you out. All right, Capricorn, if you would like to work with me, definitely check out my links down below. And if you would really like to get strong into the core of who you truly are to manifest more of what you want in life, definitely check out my Shift program. All right, thank you. Hi, Aquarius. Okay. So yeah, you are kind of going through the same thing as us Leos, with going through an evolution between your deeper essence of who you truly are and what do you do in your everyday life. And this could be a major time of evolving yourself, that basically embodying more of your higher self. But in order to do that, it does take a lot of upgrades. You download a lot, you purge a lot, and then you decide to have new habits, routines, self-care, self-love. You decide to move in a different way, work in a different way. And all of that actually does help you get rid of a lot of limiting belief systems and templates that actually weren't serving you. It was keeping you kind of blocked off and limited, because when we don't embody what we know, We don't really know it. It just kind of stays up here. And then, but this is a powerful time to start moving from it, being it, deciding from that strong inner knowing and those strong inner desires, which you might be getting in tune with. So you can, start integrating that, start embodying that, and find so much natural growth and expansion and resonance in life with who you truly are. Because this is clearing out a lot of past karma or programs that were just keeping you more blocked off to life, more rigid, more safe, more secure, but not embodying that true natural freedom and essence of who you truly are. And when you embody that more so in your body, then your higher self gets activated more often. You're just super intuitive. You get super magnetic. You can create your reality in a effortless way, and your signal gets stronger with manifestation. So definitely let yourself relax when you need to relax, reset, have those down days. And then when it's, purge, and then when it's time to move, be open to doing things a different way, moving in a different way, being a different way, eating different, all these patterns, habits, and routines. You can really switch up right now to find way more expansion in your everyday life. But it might be it's agitating because it's purging all those like old programs. But if you just give yourself that self-care, self-love, that patience, that time, then it can be easy and very enjoyable. When it's a downtime, it's time to just have a downtime. And when it's an uptime, it's time to have an uptime. And it's better to just not fight that. Especially if you have your human design, if you're a reflector, manifester, or projector, that's when you'll probably need more rest. Like manifestors, when we go through a transit like this, it is completely just shut down until it's done. It's a complete shutdown to integrate the new. And you come back completely different and with a completely different way of being, completely different way of knowing. It is just integrated. So that's what you could be going through right now. Just let the integration happen with your higher knowing, with your soul essence. And all the blocks not all the blocks, but a lot of the blocks will be released. I have a habit of saying that, like being a little extra. All the blocks will be released. I wish we'll be going through this our entire life. There is always more and more to know and embody. Okay, which is kind of crazy. But if you've had a spiritual awakening, you kind of know how much more there is to embody. You can get to that high level again, but you have to prioritize how you want to feel at that high level and bring those higher perspectives down to when you're not feeling as good. Yeah. Okay. And that's how you can integrate it more. Okay, so Saturn, Neptune, the dream can happen with money. And it's good to prioritize what you value, maybe what you value at a deeper soul level too, because when you do that, then endless creative life force energy can really flow through you to create more of that, to create more structure around that. When you prioritize what you value, you get more of it. So what do you really value at the end of the day? And, if you value freedom, then you'll find work that lets you feel more free. I feel like it's very, very helpful to choose from the energies that you value. And then you can align with a life that's more supportive for that. Because then you'll be receiving more of what you value and that is supportive to you. And with Uranus in the fourth house, maybe you want to do home, family, and foundation in a different way. And you might just be called to do it in a completely different way than you ever thought before. Maybe you are being drawn towards homesteading and getting away from the AI grid and the smart cities. or maybe you have lived a certain way your entire life, but you want to start living in a different way. Yeah, finding more freedom with how you really want to live, or living authentically to you and what your ultimate vision is with your, home, family, and foundation. I could say, okay. But yeah, maybe suddenly you do like start a different family and foundation too, because you decide to release like what's not for you. This could be a time where you're releasing a big karmic cycle that's like you're done with, and you've been putting it off, and you were recognizing that it needed to end, and now you're recognizing fully that something in your life needs to end. So you are more solid with moving from your foundation. So, moving to a different place, working a different way, being a different way. It is so, so powerful to just move more so from the core of who you truly are right now. And you will find a lot of power with that. You will get really aligned with that. You are basically giving yourself permission to do you, which is what you came here to do, is to do you in the most authentic way possible. And that's how you can have more freedom, fun, flexibility, alignment, and going towards your hopes and your dreams in a very on your own path. I don't know why I'm like slowing down right now. I need more coffee. On your own unique path, because everyone's path is very unique and individual to who they are. So don't be scared. This might be an initiation where you are doing something completely different, but it is very aligned for you. You feel it in your gut, you feel it in your soul. And it could take you towards work or creative projects, or living a certain way that is just very aligned with who you are. Because, yeah, the gem, you have something inside of you that is very, very powerful. And it is all about finding the diamond in the rough. You got to get through the rough sometimes. But once you do, then you find that diamond in that gem of who you truly are and what you came here to do. And everything that's outside is inside. So sometimes it's actually a shortcut. If you just go inside, if you really find that gem within you and what you truly want, what you truly desire, then, reality can shift in a way easier way to bring it to you and make your life more aligned with that angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe, potent connection. Yeah, realize you have a very, very strong connection to the other side from your spirit guides, from your higher self. You could be just receiving downloads very strongly, very potently. And yeah, if you want to have a crazy like connection with one of your spirit guides, angels, or higher dimensional beings, you can definitely ask for that and probably have that pretty easily right now. Sword of light, divine protection, cord cuts, breakthrough energy. Yeah, you're cutting away the cords and what's not for you anymore, getting rid or releasing people, things, places, situations, the past that isn't serving you. And that can kind of hone all your life force energy into the here and the now and the present moment where all your power actually is. So you can, because sometimes our energy gets stuck in the past, and we have to forgive. We have to just release. And then we call our energy back for right here, right now, so we can be very, very powerful. But you could get very strong ideas right now. Like Two Swords came out. Have you answered your deepest calling? That is calling to you right now, so you could feel some slight agitation. This is the energy that I have in my chart. Sun conjunct Jupiter, opposite Pluto by 1 degree. So I've had this multiple times in my life, more than multiple times. But sometimes you just feel this like deep, unsettling energy, this deep unsatisfaction, and you feel a little aggro because you want something deeper. You want something meaningful. And if you're not going towards that, if you're not aligned with that, then, you could be feeling a lot of aggro. And that's what you're getting clear with right now. Because that's the only thing that might matter through this transit. So give yourself time to really find that deeper soul calling with what you truly want, because this is going to be the time to plant a seed. And it's like you got to go enter the void within, so you can, and the void keeps on coming out too, or the empty room. And I'm going to read the empty room actually, but this is where you're going to find the seed to be planted, that you're truly seeking. It's coming from inside of you. Okay, empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential. It is the universe. Yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barrier walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness, be with the impatience. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you are doing. If you can settle into the magic of the emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. So yeah, this is kind of like getting in touch with the divine feminine energy within. There's a huge theme right now because we're releasing the whole old patriarchal ways of being. And it's even in spirituality, thinking that we have to do, we have to change, we have to fix, we have to whatever, conform, which we're releasing right now by getting back into being and remembering who we truly are, because that's all we came here to do. We came here to be. And the more that you kind of maybe even find your ability to summon. Okay, so say you want to manifest something outside of you. What is that feeling that you think that thing will give you? Because that's all it is at the end of the day. We want stuff because we think it's going to make us feel a certain way. So how can you actually summon that right now, whether through imagining that thing or whatever? But no, you can always just give yourself a permission slip to kind of feel what you want to feel right now. And then that's actually where you gain more of your power. That's how you get aligned with certain things. That's how you magnetize what you truly want. It's getting aligned with feminine energy in a very powerful way, which is how it's going to be more powerful to move in this new paradigm, is by having that strong core feminine energy and then masculine, like you need both. But I think it's way stronger to have that strong, powerful core energy directing the masculine, your masculine energy. Real relationships will always have a balance. I'm talking about just our inner energies here. But yeah, recognize how much power you actually have within. And you can go within and find that potentness that is within to get everything and organize your reality and everything that you want a lot easier. Okay. All right, Aquarius. If you would like a reading or to work with me at all, check out my links down below. And if you're new to awakening or manifestation, you should definitely check out my shift course, because it gets you into manifestation in a way that is aligned with the new energetics that we're stepping into, with moving more so from alignment and that strong feminine energy. And yeah, all right. Thank you, Aquarius. Hi, Pisces. Okay, so you could be going through a transformation with your hopes and your dreams and your visions, or feeling just a very big desire to go after them. Jupiter would definitely be amplifying that desire right now. And you're having a ton of creative energy just amplified. So with Jupiter in your fifth house, there's a lot of luck with fun, self-expression, play, creativity. And it's important to let yourself express yourself in certain ways. Our inner child lets us free ourselves fully. Because when we listen to our excitement and when we play with life, we can actually make those bold moves out in the world that, release the programming. Because when we're excited and we just feel that excitement towards something, that like for a moment, the programming is released. And then it's all about remembering that and not letting, the voices in your head stop you from actually going, doing, and being that. Very strong soul connections can be coming in at this time. Very transformative relationships that really help you evolve and grow and push you towards your hopes and your dreams, and towards other people and groups that are like-minded. And yeah, just if you need to heal your inner child right now, this could be a very, very powerful time to do that. Releasing, and you just heal your inner child by being a little bit more playful, leading with your excitement, just developing that strong connection again, because that is more of who you authentically are. That's how you can get in touch with more of your truer self and your higher self. And that's how you can have that endless flow of creativity and abundance in your life. Because when you have a strong inner child, you can live more so in the present moment, more in play, fun, joy, creating whatever you want, living with the ultimate belief that you are the hero of your own journey and you can go achieve anything that you want. And that is what will help you go like launch off out into the world to achieve and create everything that you want. Because a lot of karmic blocks could be releasing right now with Saturn so close to Neptune. And with Neptune, you could really have that delusion. I don't like saying delusional anymore. That Delulu lens, or that like expansive lens that you can go achieve anything that you want and everything is rosy, everything is wonderful. But with Saturn here, it's like, what were all the blocks and programs and limitations and ancestral stuff and whatever that was maybe holding you back? So you could be doing a lot of embodiment work right now, where you act on that inspiration and what you truly want. So you release those limiting programs and those limiting beliefs. And at the same time, just letting your body rest every now and then and purge like all those old templates, so you can start moving and being, and just being a different way out in the world. Because I think you can easily be your higher self out in the world right now, especially if you just like make that your intention. By connecting to your inner child, expressing yourself to them in the most authentic way possible, going after what you truly desire, and not caring about who or what thinks about it. And yeah, because Uranus in the third house, you could be expressing yourself in fun, random, creative ways. You could be wanting to learn something new, travel to random places. These could be all very awakening experiences. Maybe you're just listening to a podcast and you hear something that truly like awakens you to the next level. Learning, creating, writing, random downloads throughout your day could be coming in very, very strong and very, very easily. Okay, so the storm. The storm is, speaking of the storm, my mom's calling me right now. Just kidding. But yeah, the storm. So the storm's not always comfortable. And maybe you're feeling the storm right now, because with Pluto, so out in the world, sometimes it can be a little, you're taking on the brunt of something, or people are projecting on you, or your friends are projecting on you, or whatever. But whatever the storm is, it's awakening you. It's waking up your mind. It's making you embody yourself to the next level. Making you embody yourself to the next level. I don't like how I said that. You're deciding to be a different way out in the world. And when you decide that, and you free yourself and you decide to move with your creativity and your flexibility. And that is your superpower, by the way, with moving into this new paradigm, being able to be flexible, dynamic, mutable, swimming like the fish that you are, like using your little intuition to go towards the people, places, things, love that might be for you. And that's how all the magic can actually happen. So let the storm happen. Let the like thunder and the rain wash over you and wash whatever away that's actually not supposed to be there. So you awaken to that electricity of who you truly are and that knowing of who you truly are. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest call? This keeps on coming out. This came out for Capricorn and Aquarius too. But there, with this alignment, this Jupiter, Saturn opposite Pluto, I have this in my natal chart, by the way. I have Saturn, Sun conjunct Jupiter opposite Pluto by 1 degree. So I've felt like this deepest call thing my entire life. And sometimes you have to go through an evolution with it. But sometimes you can just feel like a little agitated inside, not fulfilled, just like some sort of like you're missing something. And it makes you a little like annoyed or aggro, or you just know there's something that you need to be going towards because she is a warrior. And that is going to, and by finding that thing that is deeply fulfilling, and you can find it within you first. So you magnetize that thing towards you, but go within and know what you truly want. Know what is deeply fulfilling to you and ask yourself, how can you answer that deepest call? And sometimes you just need to follow your heart for a little bit. So a heart awakening could definitely be happening, heart opening, unlocking to the next level. Sometimes you just follow your heart instead of your mind, letting your mind stop you, creating in certain ways, doing what you're passionate about, doing that random thing. And your heart guides you to your deepest calling and towards what's really for you. Also, your inner child, oh yeah, heart awakening, there you go. That, following your play, curiosity, fun, that is going to take you towards your purpose and what you're here to do, and more authenticity and towards love and relationships, and a life that is like so for you. Because the storm might roll through and, push you out of something, but no, it's pushing you towards your deepest calling and soul fulfilling connections and a major heart opening. I want to read the kiss because I never read the kiss. I mean, it looks like a strong soulmate connection, but yeah. Before a first kiss, the air is electrified. Each breath is alive with possibility and magic. What will their lips be like? Their tongue? Do they want me in return? The archetypal energy of the kiss is a heightened sensation of merging with the other, of letting them in what moments ago was separate. To become one, it is risky but beautiful business. These moments forever change us. Forever change us as we move past the solidarity self towards union and acceptance. This card suggests true intimacy is around the corner and requires bravery and surrender. When the kiss takes a non-human form, it may be experienced as touching the sacred, hearing a whisper, or being graced by a divine being. You will recognize the presence of the kiss by the cold chills and awakening of the heart. I'm excited for you, Pisces. That is so awesome. Awakening of the heart majorly happening. That's bringing in, a lot of love in whatever form, hopefully a romantic relationship. All right. Thank you so much, Pisces. Hello, Aries. Okay. So with the Jupiter-Pluto opposition, there could be a big transformation that you're going through with home, family, foundation, and your career and who you are out in the world. And also at the same time, making sure your internal being is aligned with what you're doing out in the world. because this can be a very powerful change where you align more so with your inner being and who you truly are to go towards the things that you're really passionate about. Because Pluto in the 10th house wants you to do what you love. I love that lover card came out. Do what you love. Do something that your soul like is calling you towards. Do something that brings you that deep fulfillment and that evolution with from within. And yeah, this could be a time where with Neptune in the 12th, you are just very connected to your higher self. So you could receive signs and synchronicities and just that knowing of what's truly, truly for you. And it's all about like going inward, firmly getting that knowing, and then going outward to actually go get it, to make those bold power moves out in the world. Because mostly in this world, like we don't get what we want because automatically we go like, oh, that's dreaming too big. Oh, that's too much. Oh no, we can't have that. And instead of internally making that decision, you actually just have to say, yes, I do want that. Yes, I want to dream big. Yes, I want a love of a lifetime. And then when you make that internal decision and you move from there, then the universe says, okay, it brings it to you. It like, it will start to give you things and kind of lead you in that direction, give you signs, synchronicities, bring people, places, things, opportunities into your life so you can go towards that thing and have what you truly want and what you truly desire. This is a very powerful time for any of you if you're an entrepreneur, because with this trine to Uranus in the second house, like you could be coming up with really random, innovative ways to make money, and to maybe make money in a way that gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility. Maybe you just want to set up a business that is very easy, but very good for how you want to be doing it. But also, I don't know, with Pluto in the 10th house, there might be a whole way that you see society, that you want society to be structured out in the world, that maybe you can start implementing now. And it is powerful to lead with that vision, because with Pluto in the 10th, you're meant to be powerful out in the world. So it's all about like letting yourself be powerful, but receive those innovative ideas, because with Neptune trining Uranus in the second and sextiling Pluto in the 10th, it's like you're just maybe, or not maybe, why am I saying it like that? Obviously, because this is where all ideas come from. Like we're receiving like what we came here to create, what we came here to put out in the world, whether it is just ideas or concepts or things that we will personally build and do, that can be just very in alignment with your overall purpose and direction and what you ultimately came here for. And some of you, might be deciding to really have a home, family, and foundation that you truly want, that you truly desire, and decide to start, creating it, moving out of the city, maybe starting a homestead or moving to a different state. This would be a time where, a big move like that happens, or you're creating a family. And this is a powerful new chapter with that. But ultimately getting internally very, very aligned with what you want. And I think it'll be very easy to go and make those bold moves out in the world to go create it and to go be it. Okay, Thoth light codes, light initiation, great teacher, awakening, divine magic. So some ancient codes are really awakening within you right now. I mean, that makes sense with Neptune activating Pluto, Uranus. This could be from just past lifetimes, soul memories. And when you anchor more and more of your frequency, you actually just start to remember, So sometimes if you just want to prioritize like anchoring your own frequency, connecting with your higher self every day. And then like you can like start to truly remember what you came here to do, and you start moving from that knowing, and that soul remembrance starts coming online. And there's a ton of other ways to do it. If you want help with that, check out my shift program down below. Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. Some of you are Priestess, Mystic teachers, and that can be definitely coming online right now. Feminine energy is coming online right now. This is the time until 2044 of the divine feminine energy. So it's actually going to be very, very powerful to remember how to truly be in that energy, how to flow in that energy, how to go within and summon that energy. This is also what my whole shift program is about too. So you can start moving and creating your life in alignment with your feminine energy. And then it's a lot easier that way. It's like we've been taught, like, this is a physical 3D reality. You have to push, you have to go, you have to like work, like just work hard and push, like, but there's way more energy than there is matter. I posted this the other day, but if you know, an atom is 99.99999% energy and 0.00001% matter. So literally everything is energy. And when you work with the feminine energy, it makes manifesting so much easier. So recognize how potent that is, to go within, get that soul remembrance. Remember how you're supposed to move through this world. And then also at the same time, prioritizing the feminine and beauty and devotion to yourself, in your inner knowledge and wisdom, how powerful that is going to be in this new paradigm. Arama, where are you being called to journey to? I've never heard of Arama, actually. I'm sure I've gotten this card before, but some of you might be called to go travel somewhere, or called to a different place or a location, either to move or just to visit. But that is definitely something that can bring these ancient codes, like, more so online. I am a grid worker, so I get codes from everywhere, like, all the time. And I didn't know what was happening, in the beginning, because I was just like traveling. But now I'm like, oh, that's why I'm feeling so much energy moving through me, like when I go to random places. Yeah, that's why. Some of you might be grid workers. And the Lovers card came out. So love, with this, if you're making a powerful life change, and if you feel this like deeper desire to like go towards something that's really fulfilling, or just where you're really being called, a place that you might even be remembering, then that could actually be a place where the Lover is. It's like when you actually get more so in tune with you and what you came here to do, who you truly are, more of your beauty, more of your magic and your feminine energy, then everything actually just gets magnetized in, especially a Lover. And let me read the Lover, actually. The heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the Lover is gratitude. The Lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss of a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The Lover lingers in foreplay, arouses not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of the self and the other. This energy usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, but we must fully be present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be. Rather, the Lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. I've noticed this is a big theme coming up too, because when you want to be powerful in your feminine energy, you push yourself to be more present, more in the present moment. And to be more in the present moment, it is all about taste, touch, beauty, art, just appreciating everything around you. And it's like the more in the present moment that you get, the more psychic that you get, the more access that you get to your higher self, the more that you can create and manifest the life that you want, the more you like kind of are in touch with your knowing, you know, how to move in in alignment with your highest self in every present moment. And the more you can open up to the signs and the synchronicities. I saw just a massive crow just kind of fly by. And that's kind of how I've gotten more powerful too, is slowing down and letting myself be in the present moment and just realizing the power with beauty and the feminine energy. So if you guys are like an influencer or artist or you do music, realize the beauty that you can bring to the world. I think a lot of you are supposed to do that. Or if you're not bringing beauty into the world, definitely focus on like the being in the present moment, so you can be led by your higher self, and so you can be a powerful manifester. But yeah, I think a lot of you are meant to go towards love, art, and beauty because there's not enough of that out in the world. They're trying to make this dull gray box mall world, and we're not doing that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Aries. If you would like a reading or to work with me at all, check out my links down below. Hi, Taurus. Okay, so with Jupiter opposite Pluto in the 3rd and the 9th, there might be a complete different way that you're deciding to be in your every single day life. But that transformation is coming from an evolution of your beliefs. You could be challenging your beliefs a lot right now. Maybe you learned what you've been told through history, through life, through programming, through whatever, like isn't actually true. But that's where you find a lot of your freedom. And this is a powerful time to just release a lot of limiting beliefs and just realize what beliefs you held that you weren't aware of that are actually stopping you from creating and being like who you truly want to be out in the world. Because Jupiter in the 3rd wants to expand you. It wants to expand you into more knowledge, more creating in your everyday life. Either it's posting on social media or writing a blog, or you could be learning something new. You could be reading, writing, and kind of letting yourself, and if you're writing, you could totally be downloading just very strong information from your higher self. If you need to download anything, music, songs, books, just receive downloads and guidance from your higher self. Very powerful, very, very easy right now. And a lot of that can let you kind of move in a different way in your everyday life. So you release the limiting beliefs and programs and scarcity mindsets that were actually limiting you. And sometimes we don't realize we were holding that belief until we move and we want to do something and we want to create something. But then something pops up and it's like, don't do that. What is Sally going to say or something or whatever. And you just got to be like, it doesn't matter. Like my higher self is telling me to. And that's like literally the only thing that matters. Everyone should be listening to their higher self because that would get everyone on board with who they actually are and what they came here to do. Let me have some water real quick. I just drank too much coffee. And how you can live in the most ease and alignment and flow with who you authentically are at the core of your being. And at first it's a little cringy to be like fully your authentic self, but then it's like super comfortable and it's like relaxed and you open up and you trust life and you are so in tune with your higher self and you are magnetic and you anchor everybody into coherence. And yeah, this is just a very powerful time to just anchor more of your higher self and more of your signal and your frequency And that's just powerful, you know, anchor, the more of your frequency you can anchor, the more of your soul that you can anchor into your body, which can just happen in such a powerful way right now with Pluto trining Uranus. The more you just become magnetic, you're psychic, you're in tune with your inner knowing, you can move more so in flow and synchronicity and have a lot more fun and freedom in life, actually. And that can release a lot of blocks that were getting in the way too, because Uranus in the first house is asking you to break the mold where you might have been holding yourself back in the past. If you were ever holding yourself back, there could be so many unconscious ways that we were just not even, you know, knowing that we held ourselves back because, you know, it just takes like one thing from the past, like in school, like telling you to not do something and then you stop doing that thing. And it's like, okay, bringing all of that back online right now and feeling good about it, feeling more authentic and more of who you truly are and more powerful. And it's so funny. I've been watching like old family, like vacation videos and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I was always a like weird, skinny, uh, emo-ish alien child, or not emo, but like I always like looked deeply into everything, like layers deeply into everything. So it is like a little bit more serious or whatever. And I've noticed myself like getting back and falling into that energy, like how powerful it actually is. So, but yeah, there's multiple layers of who we authentically are, you know, and all the versions of us. And it's all about getting into the most authentic version of you right now and living as that most truest version of you right now that is moving in alignment with your biggest hopes and dreams and desires. Because with Neptune and Saturn in the 11th, it's time to really, build a structure or prioritize your hopes and your dreams and to take them seriously. Most of us just don't like go after our hopes and dreams because we just say, oh, we can't do that. Like automatically we go, oh, we can't do that. That's too big for us. That's like delusional. But those are the dreams that we are supposed to go after. We're supposed to have those big delusional dreams, and we don't have to figure out how we're going to go towards it. We just have to have that dream and want that dream and know that's for us. Take that first step. And then that's when the universe brings it to us. And that's how we can, actually go towards it in a lot more ease and flow and alignment. And that's how you can have these major belief shifts and these major mindset shifts that allow you to just like be so in tune with who you are, living in an authentic, effortless flow in life, like you always should have been, before all the programming. Okay. Yep. Karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewriting your story, living your truth. So this is a big karmic clearing. And, there is no way around it. Programming, I feel like I've said that too many times today. But either way, we're born into this body with like survival templates that keep us safe, keep us small. I just realized how much of the witch wounds that I was letting, hold me back because I like to, I don't know, when I have a downtime, I have to have a downtime. But at the same time, I feel like maybe it's a little bit too like, just there's a balance, there's that rest period that you need. But then there's also like that wanting to just hide from the world and giving your excuse to hide from the world versus just doing the easy thing. Because like, making a reel, it takes literally like, I don't know, like maybe 10 minutes or less. And it's like, just do that thing, like instead of disappearing for a week. But I actually do love to disappear and not be online. So it's like a nice balance, making sure that you're not letting the witch wound, let you stay hidden and disappear from the world and not expressing your authentic self. And then also, letting yourself live in ease and flow with that divine feminine energy and your full authenticity. So yeah, it's a balance with that. But anyway, okay, karmic board clearing. Yeah, you're going through a major energetic clearing that is clearing a lot of the karma out of your body, a lot of the old programs. And it's allowing you to rewrite your story that is more authentic to you and who you truly are. And it's allowing you to live in your truth. It's kind of like realizing the power was always within you. You're always this 8-armed crazy bitch. And it's just about remembering that and letting yourself be that versus being just a one-dimensional human. I've kind of noticed that lately too. Everyone's letting themselves be a little bit more multidimensional in all aspects of who they are versus, just staying so boxed in. And I think that's very powerful right now too with Saturn and Neptune. It's like okay, say if you were like an influencer or something and you felt like you had to be niche down, because that's what they all used to say. This is like unniching a period. We're unniching and we're just living with more, you are the brand, basically. More of who you truly are at your fullest in a multidimensional way. That'll get you actually more into your truth. And old souls, like I swear, we have so many interests. So it's almost a little hard. Like I listened to this class and she's like, well, pick 5 to 7 pillars. And it's like, can you do that? Okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm not listening to any of those rules. Like whatever I'm interested in the moment is what I focus on. Otherwise I die on the inside. So, okay, focus. I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, birth of a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Okay, so realize by you living in your multidimensionality too, that is how you're going to have that new age within you that you are helping to birth with your essence, with your aura, with your energy, with your signal. And then also like what you want to start creating, because it's kind of like you're going to be very ignited and you're going to have this endless abundance of creativity and insights to start creating it. And yeah, that's going to like unspiral you from a lot. This is a circle, but I saw it as a spiral, higher and higher spirals of creation. Some of you might need to get into your masculine energy a little bit more, balancing out your masculine energy with your feminine energy, but the Father card. And yeah, not being afraid to be the pilgrim and do something different like nobody has ever done before, because that's how you're on your soul path. That's how you're on your soul journey, is when nobody's done it in that way. So there is no looking around, but you're getting that feeling, you're getting that nudge, and that's just what you got to do because you know it. And that unlocks something inside of you, because then you get support and you get to show yourself that you were right. And that is very healing to you. That unlocks more of who you truly are and your limitless self. And it allows you to shed the skin of what's not really you. Let me read the Father. One sec. It's funny, today I'm reading the cards that I don't usually read because I'm like, oh, Father masculine. So there's some cards that I pick up. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. But I kind of, yeah, it's good to read them. Okay, so alongside the mother, the father resides in the mother's been popping out a lot too. So mother, father archetypes, like the 1 and the 2 popping out a lot. That makes sense because a new paradigm, new creations, we need to be solidly anchored in the new feminine energy and the new masculine energies, or the upgraded energies. Okay. So alongside the mother, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. Thus, he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodied such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and one who leaves us to the wolves. Here yet gone, the champion and the failure. The father can never resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in his archetype itself. Witnessing the father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. So yeah, some of you are breaking through a lot of like your father's lineage where he like left off at least. You're healing the karma, and going way beyond and empowering your masculine energy to the next level. All right, Taurus. And if you would like to work with me down below, check out my links. Hi, Gemini. Okay, so some of you might be going through a transformation with your money and your finances. I think it's really powerful to focus on the energy of what you truly value with the second house, because whatever you value is what you kind of go towards, and what you create more of. And it's very helpful, if you're an entrepreneur or if you want a specific type of work, say you want more freedom, it is helpful to get clear on like the energies of what you really value or just what you value. So you can be aligned in a very, very powerful way to create abundance in a way that is more in alignment with you. But this can be a big money boost in general, Jupiter opposite Pluto, that is powerful money moves. So actually, if you want to start like an LLC or open up a bank or something, or, just the energetics of like starting something to make more money, is really, really powerful. Because I do electronal astrology too. So like when you open up an LLC, when you start a YouTube, when you do whatever, it does have its own birth chart, and you can do that in a way that is very, very powerful to make a lot of money at this time. So I love that. And yeah, this can just be a transformation that you go through. So you are making money that is more in alignment with like who you truly are at that, the deep core of your being, because Neptune wants you to be in alignment with the bigger aspects of you and your soul, and to have a bunch of creativity and flow and more limitless abundance. Because when you get in alignment with your soul and you go up on the vibrational scale, living more so in love and gratitude, you recognize your ability to kind of have a ton of more pathways and just creative freedom to create whatever you want to create. And this could be a major time that you do that too. Like maybe you are going through an internal purge of fears and doubts and insecurity and scarcity mindsets. Because the 8th house isn't the funnest house to deal with. As a Leo rising, we had to deal with Saturn and Neptune in there. That is where we face all our attachments, whether it is relationally, physically, financially, whatever. And there is like a reason why it's very powerful to not be attached to anything with manifestation in general, and then also to become super magnetic. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita said like all attachments lead to, I don't know, suffering. And then like that, should I say this? People get so triggered when I bring up like the Bible or whatever, but it's like there's just multiple references throughout history and cultures that just like there is a lot of power with not being attached to things, because it allows you to not look at the 3D and let that hold you back. You actually you hold your vision, which is in your mind, which is like almost more like real reality. They call it, okay, so in the Bible has a lot of manifestation. They call it the righteous mind, which is the right mind, which is your imagination, that is visualization, that is, it is more of the truth, and you have to trust that when you receive that vision, that is a real reality, and you should pay attention more so to the reality that you are receiving in your mind than to 3D physical reality and letting that stop you all the time. And that's how you can release a lot of the blocks and fears that might be blocking you right now. Because you could be like, oh, I can never have that much money. Oh, I can never make money that way. Oh, I can never do that. But what are you visualizing? What are you seeing in your mind? Because you can actually do that. And you're actually meant to do that. You're meant to go after your biggest dreams and your desires and your hopes and your wishes. And you just gotta really like dream big and let your desires like really fuel you. And it doesn't have to be hard, actually. You just have to internally decide that is for you. That's what you want. You take the first step. The universe brings people, places, things, situations, ideas, opportunities to you. And then it can happen, you know, in a very easy, effortless, flowing, aligned way. All the best manifestations, too. It is like remembering. It is kind of like flowing along and remembering like what is really meant for you and just going with it. And the more that you actually visualize and you hold that vision, the more you make it a memory, the more you assume it's for you. So this is a very, very powerful time. You know, Neptune in the 10th, just dream big. Who do you want to be out in the world? What is that legacy you want to leave? What is that dream business? What is that dream life that you want to live? And you can have a lot of breakthroughs and releases with Uranus in the 12th house, releasing all those limiting beliefs that were kind of blocking you off from your higher self and your higher knowing and your psychic knowing. You could get major pings of just psychic knowing right now. And it's all about like getting a little slower, quieter, subtle, so you can really know that. And that can actually like really like set you free in different ways. That's what we're moving into. We're moving into the feminine energy, and getting stronger in the feminine energy will be very, very powerful moving into this new era. That's what will take you to that easy, effortless, aligned life that is very creative and fulfilling and abundant. And just, yeah, aligned with who you truly are, your authentic self. Okay, so birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And some of you might be going through kind of a major upgrade right now, because whenever there's transits to the 8th house, you could be going through a Kundalini awakening. Jupiter's like expanding things that could just be fear or survival programs and doubts, or just the fear, expanding the fear so that releases. And that's always uncomfortable. You know, purging the frequencies is not comfortable. I have this in my natal chart. This is how I live. With my sun conjunct Jupiter exactly opposite Pluto by 1 degree. Yeah, the fears expanded, and they are collective, they are ancestral, they are just in your body. And letting those fully release so you can embody the new templates. And if you give yourself the time to do that, self-care, self-love, let these breakthroughs happen. Let this rise of awareness happen. And you don't realize how it's happening until it happens, until the old ways of being kind of purges through the body. And then you start walking around one day and you just start seeing all the creativity, all the abundance, all the signs, all the synchronicities. And it's a lot easier to flow through life and to create the life in alignment, in ease, in spontaneity, versus the way we used to do it, which is struggle, push, force, control, blah. Like that's just going to get harder and harder. So getting strong in the feminine energy is going to be very powerful. And you are anchoring more of yourself, more of your soul, more of your higher embodiment. And that is going to make you magnetic AF. That is going to really tap you more so into your higher self and your higher knowing. And that is, elevating you out of the spirals into higher cycles of creation massively. And it's going to make you the vessel to receive what you are truly meant to receive. And that's how we're supposed to move. We're meant to just receive the abundance from the universe. So we start, creating in the most effortless way. And it doesn't take as much planning in the past and as much like force and effort. And it's actually fun. It takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of going through the damn thing. But trust me, like it is so much more just easy and effortless. And I was so stubborn to go through this process, even though I went through a massive Kundalini awakening. but trust me, oh my gosh, like just try, like get like in tune with the feminine energy. And yeah, like it just makes life a lot easier. So the grand central sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, success. Yeah, this is like the bigger essence of you that is anchoring into your vessel, into your body. It is that higher knowing, and you might have deeper remembrances, more downloads, more insights, a ton of creativity. And that's this thing with creativity. Like you just have to start creating. You have to start putting stuff out there. You have to start just doing it. And that's how you can push the limits more and more, and how you can release the programs and how you can release yourself ultimately. The one, you are getting connected. And yeah, sometimes like this is a powerful transit with just getting all the way awakened and like psychic in moments. And I've been here before, obviously the mystic, where you just like, oh, we are all one. Oh my gosh. And you just get that the higher knowings of those higher dimensional thought forms and ways of being. And you got to know that, that's what's anchoring. You receive that. You're not going to be able to hang on to that all the time. And you could just be feeling an immense amount of love and ecstasy and aliveness like you've never felt before. And it's all about like remembering that is a way that you can feel all the time. But it is bringing that awareness of all that love and light and abundance and everything and colors and like bringing it into the lower awareness to release all the programs that are anchoring you down here versus like being more so up here. Because oneness is you're in alignment with your oneness. Like you're getting in alignment with your core essence of who you truly are at a bigger level. And that's very exciting when that happens. And the Mystic came out. So this is a time when it just looks like you guys are going through an awakening. Like every single card is very awakening. Also the Holy Grail. It's important to prioritize what you love, what you value, what you want to create, what really fills your cup and your life force energy, and kind of go in that direction, because that's going to kind of lead you in the right direction. And the Mystic that came out, let me read that. But yeah, some of you are being initiated right now to mystic level experiences, which it's so funny that this day and age, like it's just happening. We're not like trying to be nuns on the mountain or whatever. Like it's just happening. Here we are. I never would have thought like going on the spiritual path. I just had extreme awakenings and here I am. Okay. So the mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or lighthearted daydreamer. Yet like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting it, the liquid, into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. Yep. So this is the work of the mystic. They do not fear the darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. So that's the thing. A lot of us think that to be love and light, that we have to reject the dark, but that's not the case. We integrate the dark. We recognize our own darkness, where we're and we can use reality for this. Like, where are we projecting our like stuff onto others? Where are we seeing separation and judgment? That's actually where we can integrate stuff. But also because I recognized, like, I was kind of going through the witch wound. Like sometimes we have to go through the hard things, like the venom, to be able to transform it and become that master alchemist, and to remember how powerful we really are. So sometimes we will like have that persecution wound of like putting ourselves out in the world and saying whatever we're feeling the push to say, because we're not supposed to be perfect in our self-expression right now. We're supposed to be a little messy. And then, we'll get a comment or someone coming at us being like, whoa, I hate that. And then you take it too personally, or you get hated on or canceled or whatever. But that's an initiation too. Whenever you have to go through something rough, or public shaming or like something like that, that is also an opportunity to transmute and to be in that unconditional love and to kind of expand your powers. Because at the end of the day, the mystic is transforming every single possible thing within yourself first into unconditional love. And that's the hard work. I'm not saying like it's easy here, but that's what gives you that clear lens. That's what gives you your psychic abilities. That's what anchors more of your true essence and who you truly are. And that's what makes you magnetic AF. And you're on the mystic journey with Pluto in the 8th house for however long, at least the next 14 years, you're on the mystic journey. So if you just like accept it, kind of go in that direction, learn about mysticism and the occult stuff. I would say the most important thing though is like working with the body and just knowing that transformation that you're going through. That is the most important thing. But when you work with it, then it's kind of fun. And then you recognize that you're just amplifying your power with every, dark night of the soul. And they get easier too. They're not tough, and it looks like this is just like breakthrough central, where it's just like more of a fast awakening versus a long drudged out awakening. Okay. All right. Thank you, Gemini. And if you would like to work with me, check out my links down below. Hi, Cancer. Okay. So you are going through an evolution between yourself and your significant relationships. And this could bring a lot of tension in the beginning. But it might not even be tension. It just might be fears that you have internally or that they have that need to be transmuted back into love, because that's what we're here for. We're here to anchor the templates of relationships that are unconditional love. And, you might be running into those relationships. Oh my God, the ring. And this is funny because this is like the soul commitment that is eternal. Sorry, I'm just so shocked that this came out. That's those soul connections that you unconditionally love, and they're either really close soulmates, divine counterparts, kingdom spouses, twin flames. As tumultuous as those relationships can be, there's unconditional love there either way. And you don't know why. Your soul knows why. That's it's bringing you back into, is more of who you truly are at the core, not the stupid human program shit that we've put on ourselves from being human here. So, but yeah, the underworld. So that's the thing. That's so funny. So perfect. The unconditional love that you have at your soul for certain people, family too, even if those relationships are challenging, friendships, but knowing, like, if you're here on my page, you're an old soul, like you are meant to anchor the higher unconditional love templates. And it's tricky. It doesn't mean you give yourself endlessly and you get walked all over and you deal with toxicity. You still have boundaries. You still have unconditional love for yourself first, but you still recognize you have love for them too. But those are the templates that we're anchoring here versus like looking at Instagram and being petty and being like men versus women and all of that bullshit that we can fall into. that doesn't serve anyone. Because when you hold on to the fear or grudges or hating someone or resentments or whatever, you're only hurting yourself, and blocking yourself off from the love that you can have in this lifetime, with whatever relationship can meet you in this lifetime. And it's all about going into the underworld to like really find that, because that's the thing, actually. That's actually the thing with what's the best thing about relationships in this era that we're in. It is in the conflict. It is like, where can you go through the conflict with more peace, with more love, with more just being so anchored in your inner being, in the core of who you truly are, and not losing yourself like into the underworld, but facing the underworld, but staying solid in your core. And that's actually how these new energetics can actually come in. And that's actually how you can be powerful. Empaths are way too weak these days because they're like, they're narcissists, and they might be, yeah, obviously. And because empaths always attract narcissists, but like you don't need to name call. You don't need to make yourself the victim. You don't need to hold on to resentments. The more that you can just have that unconditional love, because if you're an empath and you're here, you're probably an empath. You see the core of who they are, and you see the unconditional love that they are. And that's what you resonated with at the beginning of the relationship. They might not fully remember that, but it's in your ability to see the love that they are always, regardless of the bullshit that has happened in the past. Still having your boundaries, not putting yourself through more bullshit or anything. But that is the most healing thing. And I have so many relationships. I have my North Node in Pisces in the 8th house. This is just the work that I'm doing in this lifetime. Unconditional love in extremely hard circumstances that I've gone through. But that, like, in my family also, that is how I've helped them heal. That is the most powerful thing that you can do to help heal others. Because it's kind of like when you're just petty and when you just act out of those lower energetics, that causes more karma. That's where you're not acting from love. And it's like just a little tiny impact. It's like just digging a small hole versus the energetic impact that you have of making choices from love and holding that unconditional love. That is a whole awakening lightning bolt that you send their way. That just means like, what? We're not getting into the same bullshit again? Like, what? We're not doing, like, this is not how it goes. It awakens their own consciousness, where they're realizing they were unaware and just in these loops and cycles and patterns and safetyness, and they're just like attacking. But that attacking is just like they want to be recognized. And then but because they want to be recognized, like where they're going against themselves. And it's like that, like just that love that you can hold anyway. It can be soft, it can be subtle. But energetically, it's a whole lightning bolt that awakens them out of their own bullshit, out of their own templates. So if you're dealing with relationships at this time, and I know it's the hardest thing ever, I have not, especially with this transit, and I have this transit natally, Sun conjunct Jupiter opposite Pluto at 1 degree. It is challenging to be like a transmuter for sure. And I have my challenging days, but being able to transmute and just hold the love anyway and still see the core of who they are, that is the most powerful thing that you can do with challenging relationships. And that's how you can also at the same time become super magnetic to the relationships that are truly, truly meant for you. Because with Jupiter in the 1st house, everything wants to come your way. Love, relationships, money, work, your purpose. because with Saturn and Neptune in your ninth house, that is like you getting in alignment with your purpose and what you're here for, your Dharma timeline. And that will set you free. That will allow you to live more so in alignment and flow and abundance. And yeah, it's just all about choosing that, realizing that big vision that you really want to live in your life. And you can have a lot of expansion right now with that. All you have to do is internally decide that you want that life, you want that vision, you want to live out your purpose. And then the universe brings it to you, the people, opportunities, situations easily. Because with this sextile to Uranus too, like random opportunities or career abundance can come your way. People, random insights, downloads, information, just randomly coming your way that kind of expands you onto this like bigger journey in life. Some of you could be going viral on social media, but yeah, some of you just out and about with your friends, meeting the love of your life, and getting in alignment with your purpose and meeting the love of your life. So realize like how like this is such a abundant, exciting time. But this transmuting energy, the mirror is going to set you free ultimately. Okay. So the challenging thing with relationships, challenging, yes, but going to set you free. Everything gets transmuted back into unconditional love. And that is how you end up being a shiny, radiant being, sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. And that's how you start creating too, because then you get more access to like who you truly are, and creativity can just flow in endless abundance. Transformation, things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Yeah, this could just be a deep purge for you, a deep ancestral purge. But I love how she is like a golden goddess on a golden throne. So whatever's purging right now, and you might be purging a lot of ancestral stuff or just the old templates and programs that have been holding you back from being this goddess always. And that she's enlightened. She knows her power. She knows when she focuses her energy on what she wants, it can come in really fast. Her intuition is really strong. She is dressed amazing, impeccable. So like being just super powered and super charged up with that. I love that. So she hasn't really come out for me before. So that's really special. You're becoming the radiant goddess. And if you're masculine, your divine feminine energy is getting pumped all the way up. So you're going to be feeling good at the end of this. And that's an important thing moving into this new paradigm. Being really strong in feminine energy first, then masculine energy is kind of what's going to be more powerful in this new paradigm, because we're moving into the energetics of more so feminine energy. So let things change at that deep cellular level. Sorry. And it literally does happen at a cellular level. It happens in your body. Your body changes when you go through this transformation and you go through this awakening, because the programs are in the body. You release it. And then you are so tapped into your inner knowing and who you truly are in a whole new way of being. And it's superhuman, actually. Like you start to get more and more and more superhuman with like your knowing and your intuition. And I never thought I would be here. Like, or I hate to bring it back to me, but I am a Leo rising. I talk to trees consciousness now. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, because I'm obsessed with like tapping into consciousness of things, because you can talk to anything telepathically. I can talk to my animals. But my favorite thing right now is to find like super old trees and to connect to their consciousness. And the older the tree, I swear to God, it's like it's like taking a Xanax, like the level of calm that just sits over you for like an hour. It's like so calming. And that's why I started talking about that. I'm like, why am I talking about this? Because keepers of the earth, some of you might be called to be like more so keepers of the earth and to connect with spirit animals and your spirit guides in nature or working with the moon, realize that you're not alone, that your ancient ancestors stand beside you at all times. The dolphins, the whales, the eagles. I love that. Wolves. Oh, wolves on this card. Look at that. And yeah, wolf with the angel wing. I am your wolf with the angel wing. Hi. Um, but yeah, there's a sacred inner fire leading you up, um, and you're being pushed to create something. You're being pushed way more into your feminine energy, and you can only really powerfully get into your feminine energy when you are going through that transformation, when you are majorly integrating, when you are connecting, yeah, with the darkness to integrate it, and when you are stepping into that higher level of embodiment. Let me read the ring real quick because that is pretty. The infinite wheel, the connection, the ring is an image of connectedness. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements, the ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world and experiences. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it's no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses space, time, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto this archetypal image because it mimics Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. It is the micro and the macro united. This card calls us to deepen connection with self, other, and the world at large. Meanwhile, there may be a literal ring waiting to adorn your finger. So yeah, this is kind of like getting in tune with your own cyclical nature of your own consciousness. You know, that's basically what we go through this entire life, is like going through the circle of our own natal charts over and over and over again until we get to higher vibrations, until we can anchor those higher energies and higher archetypes and templates so we can be more of who we truly came to be here. And yeah, this is kind of like recognizing the higher cycles that you are actually stepping into by going through this bigger purge and transformation. And yeah, how you're attracting in love, and you're knowing what you want to be connected to, what you want to be committed to at that soul level, because you're feeling that connection to it at that soul level, that urge. It's bringing you towards more expansion and play and fun and excitement. And that is actually what's going to set you free. All right. Thank you so much, Cancer. And if you would like to work with me, check out my links down below.